I don't even know if levels are good.
Levels.
We're doing it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Are we streaming? It looks like we're streaming.
I think we're streaming.
Let's go to YouTube. Make sure YouTube is good. Oh, YouTube
Yeah,
says
we're
we're
good.
excellent.
YouTube says we're fantastic. Cool.
All right. What's
Yeah.
going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Cut. It has been a
Amen.
long time. And actually, Tom, give us an intro so I can check our levels here while you do that.
All right. Hey, it's been a minute on that. So, hey there, everybody. Welcome to The Cut. I'm Tom Roth. I got my guest host here, Anthony Aquendo. Anthony, say hello to the people.
What's up, people?
And it has been a minute. We are back. We're going to be more consistent with this now and get everything rocking and rolling like we did. Life's calmed down a little bit, so
For
be good to
you?
go.
Has it?
For me, it has. Yeah,
Has it for you?
it has.
I guess, you know what? This is probably my tail end of everything.
Yeah.
Like, everything should be calming down for me right now. But it was pretty crazy there for a good while.
Yeah, like beginning of July until like last week was nuts. So it was almost like we took a summer break. But
It's a good way to look at it.
yeah, it is.
But I think it's a great time to pick back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now we are going to tonight react to the presidential debate from last night between presidential hopeful Donald Trump, who's number 45, hoping to be number 47, and Kamala Harris, the vice president for President Joe Biden. So admittedly, I didn't get to watch the debate, but what I did get to do is watch the reels from the debate. And it gave me a good idea of the tone and the some of the subject matter that was discussed. So, Anth, how about you, for the sake of brevity, give me 5 takeaways that you had from that debate last night?
Nope. Let's just watch some highlights or something.
Okay.
I'd rather do
Just
that.
shut me down.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm shutting you down, bro.
That's fine.
Because I would rather just go into it but
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Have you seen a good, like, overall highlight of the debate?
No, I haven't. I was mainly getting it from Instagram. That's usually how I digest my political stuff on Instagram, because if you watch the one thing, the Reels algorithm's pretty good. It'll just show you like-minded, like associated things. So it's
Right.
easy to go in there. Because, like, you know, you go on X and you watch a Reel, and then it'll go from, like, the debate to, like, a sports clip, right? Whereas if you're on Reels on Instagram, it'll stick with that political spectrum, at least for me. The one thing I'll say, I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris at all. But she seemed very, very eloquent last night, from what I watched. And she seemed very confident in a lot of the things she was saying. And I thought that that was comforting. Just looking at it from a, I'm not pro-Democrat here, but she looked to be the best Democrat candidate I've seen in a while. Why is Dion Dawkins on there?
I met him and got to, like, chase his drift car. He drifts.
The NFL player?
Yeah.
You met Dion Dawkins.
Yes.
And you
Yeah,
didn't
he
fucking
actually
tell me?
drifts. No, he's.
That's something that would interest me.
Yeah, I can show you. Hold on. Let me see.
We don't have time.
I don't know.
I'm gonna shut you down now.
Okay, that's fine. I got stuff. I'm trying to organize everything over here, anyways.
That's pretty cool though. Kudos to you.
Yeah, got to chase his drift car.
That's an
And
NFL
he
lineman.
posted the footage on his Instagram too.
That's an NFL lineman.
It is.
He's cool. He's a
Yeah, he was live on the drift stream when we did the competition the other day. Anyhow,
he's
but-
cool in interviews, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch
He's
that.
chill. I didn't talk to him long, but all right. So I'm trying to find the page I just had open for us. Apparently, I don't know how to work my computer anymore. All right, go ahead. Keep going, Tom. What were you saying, though?
I was just saying that it looked like she was the most sure
Oh, you did say that.
of herself and confident presidential candidate for a Democrat that I've seen in a while. I never thought Joe Biden looked confident. I always thought he kind of sounded out there. And Hillary Clinton, I was just as interested in everything she had to say.
So I have to say, while I'm looking here, that I thought she did better than I expected. I will say that while I'm trying to find a good page to actually pull up anything, because it's kind of just like impromptu. We're just winging it like a little baby bird. Wasn't I already logged in at one
You
point?
were.
In time? I don't remember how we did this.
The other thing I'll say, so I follow quite a few people on X, and one of them is Grant Cardone. If you guys don't know who Grant Cardone is, he owns companies that sell real estate. He does sales consulting for like car dealerships, any type of sales type thing, and he offers a thing called 100X Grant Cardone Academy. I follow him on X, and the one thing that I found interesting was Grant Cardone always is a guy who, when he posts about something, he wants proof. He wants to show that he's the best. He wants to back it up, and that's what he does. And he was posting today that he knows for a fact that Kamala Harris was given the questions ahead of time, and that's why she was so confident, and that's why she was so good during the debate. And people started asking, like, hey, where's the proof of that? You know, like, where did they say that? Where's that at? And he just, like, won't respond. So I think it's interesting sometimes when we have something that we don't agree with, or something that goes against what we promote. It doesn't matter at that point, like when you yourself are always a guy that wants to back stuff up with proof. At that point, proof doesn't matter. It's just your opinion that matters. And I think that you see that a lot during like times of presidential turnover, like going from one president to another in debates, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of needless attacking. Why can't we?
So
why can't we just?
I don't want to get too far off subject here, but what if he does have proof, but he can't show it because either A, he doesn't have it in his possession, or B, if he did expose it, it would expose somebody that
well, then why
that
bring
trust
it up?
him, right? Maybe that's the whole reason that somebody even showed it to him, because he has a platform and he has
a platform, okay.
Right. So maybe he can, maybe he has enough information or can say enough to act, or maybe he's only willing to say something, but he can't maybe physically show evidence for other reasons.
Sure.
I don't know. Just a thought.
No, that's good. That's okay.
Right.
The other thing.
So let's hold on. I think we. That's what you were just talking about, Shannon. Go
Uncle
boy,
Shay
Shannon.
Shay. Uncle Shay, dog.
Let's see if we can find any debate highlights, because ladies. Know who we can
Loaded Lux came to Labor Day and Loaded Lux. This is your guy right here.
Well, I saw a post from him earlier.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's your guy. Like, you introduced me to him, and I really like him.
Actually, the one I would like to show you, but we don't have time to sit here and watch full, 20, 30-minute videos. But I did see something where right here. So if anybody watched the debate, gosh, I don't know.
That on.
I don't want to be that guy who just like goes. So first of all, maybe we're not going to go through the whole debate. Let me give you my interpretation of the debate.
So now you want to do it
because, bro, I think
so it's on your terms. It's cool.
Listen, no, see, I know you got to get the hell out of here. I asked you if we could do this on a different day, Tom.
We could. But I want to do it today.
You want to do it right now?
I've got I've got a cookout on Sunday, man.
Oh, so now you.
Sunday.
So now
But I said maybe we do Sundays. I said
Okay.
maybe.
So
you
maybe
know
we'll
what I mean?
see
But
what happens, y'all. But okay.
I got a cookout with the chicken daddy.
All right. So since we're on a time crunch anyhow, then I guess yes, we're gonna have to give some interpretations. My interpretation was Kamala did better than I expected, and she threw a lot of bait out there that Trump absolutely bid on, and it kind of screwed him over. Like, if you insult anything, like if you insult anything that might hurt Trump's pride.
Mm-hmm.
Like she got him with the rallies.
Mhm.
Like he could not help himself but to say something back about the rallies. When really it's not important. Nobody gives a shit about either of the rallies, right? I don't care how big either of your rallies are. You could bring in 4 people. I don't care. What are your policies, right? And I think both of them did a terrible job at actually laying out policies. And actually I would probably give Kamala a leg up on actually describing some form of policy.
Okay.
Um,
But here's a question for you. Does Trump really need to lay out a policy? Because we already know what his policies are.
I mean, but the same could be said for Kamala. She's in office now. Why aren't things
Correct. But I think it's a little bit different because Trump was already a president, right? So we know his policies. Just because Kamala might agree with Joe Biden when he's in office doesn't mean that she might enact the same things when she's in office. You know, I mean, just as for instance, like Joe Biden went along with Barack Obama's stuff, but you know, there's a lot of stuff, and I can't name it off the top of my head, so I can't, you know, in good conscience give you this, but like some things that like Biden did, I thought to myself, well, Obama would have never done that. You know what I mean?
maybe
And again, and there are I just can't off the top of my head right now.
but she's not going to openly disagree with anything that Joe Biden has done, right?
Why?
Because then people in her own party, or because the fear of losing voters.
Okay. I got you.
That's why, really.
I got you. Okay. That's fair.
But yeah, so I would give her a leg up where she actually describes some policies. She talked about $6,000 child care tax credit for new families.
Mhm.
This is the way she described it. And then a $50,000 tax cut for new businesses.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I mean, wouldn't that be something that excited you if you started Cracked like in this coming January?
So here's a question though. So I mean, it would all have to. It would. To me, talk is cheap. Let me see the fine print, right? Because what if this is like a very first time business owner? Like this is, you have to go through a process
Mhm.
to actually qualify for it, right? And that's where I think the devil's in the details.
Mhm.
So me already owning 2 businesses, would I qualify for that $50,000 if I open a new business? If so, what would disqualify me? Let's say I completely, what's the word I'm looking, basically completely close up shop at one of my businesses, and I reopen an exactly same business under
A different name.
a different name.
What if you closed your businesses and you opened a business in Gianni's name?
Or that. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
what are the loopholes? You know,
Yeah.
what are the details?
What are the details?
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
And it's, but here's the thing too, is a lot of that is going to have to be passed by Congress,
Mhm.
right? The power of the purse
Mhm.
lies with Congress.
Mhm.
So she's going to push for it. That doesn't mean it's going to happen.
No.
And Trump mentioned something like that during the debate, in regards to, I think it was maybe it was the abortion. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was the abortion. Actually, because that was one of the questions. But either way, he mentioned something along the lines of she won't be able to get it done. Like she thinks it just can happen, but it's got to go through Congress. Like she's gonna describe it like it's gonna be the flip of a switch, but there's a process that has to take place, and it has to pass a vote. So that's why I said talk is cheap. You know, for both of them, what's realistic? Yeah. So she had a better layout as far as policies.
Do you think that she was given the questions beforehand? In your opinion.
I don't have any evidence of that.
So it's not fair to say that she was.
I don't have any reason to. Yeah, I don't have any reason to believe that she had questions beforehand. Now, if new evidence comes out, well, then that's a different story. But as far as right now, I don't have any reason to believe that she had the questions beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that she didn't.
There are memes and rumors going around that she had some kind of earring that acts as like a Bluetooth earbud speaker. And yeah. So,
why is it always with the ears, man?
I mean, because that's where that's the only place somebody would be able to help you.
You're not picking up on it. Kamala with her earring, Trump getting shot in the air. Everyone's got an ear thing going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not that witty tonight, guys.
Went over my head. In one ear, out the other.
So let me ask you this: when you were watching the debate last night, obviously I know that you are a pro-Trump person.
Not that I'm pro-Trump. I'm pro the Constitution, and I feel like Trump represents the core principles of the Constitution better than Kamala does.
Based on what?
Based on First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment. I mean, to me, a lot of the left, they use these laws and find technicalities within the laws to either achieve something or to prevent something from happening.
Isn't that what Donald Trump did with the felonies, though?
What do you mean?
Didn't he find loopholes? Didn't he find ways around things to make the most money?
To make the most money? I'm confused on what you're talking about.
Like, when he was valuating things and everything, like, he found loopholes and everything to value his stuff higher, didn't he?
Are you talking about his real estate?
Yeah.
No. You're talking about the where he was charged with overvaluing his properties? Yes. No. So that wasn't loopholes. I mean, that was just more or less that was the government saying. I feel like we're getting off a topic here, but that was the government saying, we think you defraud somebody. But there was agreements in place with these banks and these loan companies and even the loan companies came out and said, no, everything was great. He paid on time. He actually paid early, and yeah, we got all our money. So
okay,
but yeah, no. So to get back to the debate, I think although Kamala did well in those areas, she did have some help. So I don't know how much the highlights you watch, but the moderators were very, they would, for one, they didn't fact check one thing she said, although they continuously fact checked Trump on a few things. And they would give Trump a pretty, thought-provoking question, and then they would kick it over to Kamala. Kamala, what do you think about Trump's opinion? What do you mean? Ask her the same damn question. Make her elaborate. Make her put some thought behind. I don't give a shit about her opinion. You know what I'm saying? They're throwing her softball questions, fact checking everything he says. And actually, this is one of the videos I was going to play, because this kind of really highlights the bias of. Is this it? Top 5? Yeah. Okay. This is a good one. This they didn't fact check her on any of this, but they fact check Donald Trump on several things. Let's see here. Let's not blow our eardrums out. Hold on. Why do we not have? Oh, you know what? I think I changed some settings.
Sides. You had people in that group.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I think we're good here. All right. So let's go. So these are the top 5 lies, apparently. What am I doing, bro? I forgot how to work my stuff all together. All right. So apparently these are the top 5 lies that Kamala Harris told last night. She wasn't fact checked on not a one. So.
Tim Walz and I are both.
Whoa, bro. What was that? Hold on. I won't be able to deal with that.
While you're doing that, I see now that Kamala Harris says she has a gun.
Yeah, she did say that. Interesting. Okay.
There we go.
I think
you're good.
No, I don't think so. What is this? Chrome screen capture.
I've never seen that.
Ha, I think we got it. Maybe. We're going to find out right now. All right, so let's see. Top 5.
Gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. It's got to be smart. We got to do it the right way.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons?
I do believe that we need to do buyback.
Let's remember
This is her
Charlottesville,
last night.
where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
Now, I just want to make a real clear observation here. She's technically right, because she plays this game where what she says is technically true, but she frames it out of context to make it seem like he was talking about the neo-Nazis, but she never directly said that he was talking about them. Listen to how she does it. She's real sneaky.
Mob of people carrying.
Believe in the mandatory assault weapons?
Remember Charlottesville.
Listen, she doesn't directly
where
say
there
that she's
was
talking
a
about them.
mob of
That he's
people
talking about
carrying
them.
tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
I
And
feel like
the
everybody
Supreme
knows
Court
all
had
this
great
information
courage
already.
in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Pause. Hold on. What does it say? Under Governor Tim Walz, babies born alive in botched abortions were left to die. Then he removed reporting requirements. So now you don't even report. They don't report about it, apparently.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
Look,
And that whole-
right. So here's the thing. Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong. And then also, again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of school.
On that point, Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
What do you think?
So the one thing I'll say about at the beginning about taking away your guns, taking away all the guns, that's wrong. She never said that. She said that we need to do a buyback program on AR-15s and AK-47s. That was back in 2019. She said that. So she didn't say all guns, which is how Trump framed it.
No, hold on. But let's go back. And what did she say? What did she
I do support a buyback, but they cut it off.
No.
She later says AK-47s and AR-15s. I watched that interview.
Sure. And okay, maybe she did, but let's
it's
hear
not
what
maybe. She did say that.
Okay, let's hear what she said last night. Let's listen to it one more time, okay?
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop lying. Now, to have any kind of buyback, a mandatory buyback, that sounds like you're taking people's guns away, Tom.
Correct. But what I'm saying is back in 2019 or 2020, she said AR-15s and AK-47s. She didn't say all guns like Trump indicated. And people are allowed to change their opinions. People change their opinions all the time.
He didn't say all guns. He said that
she wants to take away your guns.
And if she's wanting to implement a mandatory buyback for AR-15s and AK-47s, that's taking people's guns. Do you not agree with that?
What do you mean? Do I not agree with it?
I mean, I guess I'm a little confused what your point is, and if
what
you're not,
saying
if you're
is Donald Trump framed it, as I saw it, that indicating she wants to take away all guns by saying she wants to take your guns, not she wants to take the assault weapons, right? It does matter because there's so many different types of guns than AR-15s and AK-47s. It matters.
But it doesn't matter if it's one gun or it doesn't matter. She's coming to take your guns, whether it's a specific gun or every gun that you have. She's coming to take your gun. She said she is in favor. She supports a mandatory buyback. That is taking people's guns, regardless of if it's one gun or 1,700 guns. I don't know how many people guns, whatever. But if she's taking one gun, she's taking people's guns.
Yeah.
Okay. So when she says we're not taking your guns, either A, she's lying,
or B, she changed her opinion,
or B, she changed her opinion,
which she's allowed to do.
And she is allowed to do that.
But we don't want her to change her opinion because she's a Democrat.
Okay, but this is exactly where the moderator should have stepped in. Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President, back in 2019, you had an interview with Jimmy Kimmel,
Jimmy Fallon,
Fallon, whoever it was, and you said that you support a mandatory buyback. Has your position changed, or can you elaborate a little further on?
That's fair, and they absolutely should have. They
should have, and that's kind of.
But that's not her fault that they didn't.
It's not her fault. No, it's definitely not her fault that they didn't. It's definitely ABC's fault that they didn't. But I mean, you really can't expect anything less from ABC. Yeah. So if she's come to get one gun, then she, like I said, she's either lying or she changed her opinion.
But because she's a Democrat, we assume that she's just lying.
Well, no, because we haven't heard her clarify her position change. We assume she's lying. Maybe she did change her position, but I can't just take her word for it. I need to know reasoning. Like, why? Why are you just saying that to get my vote? Right? Sure. Like, you said something completely opposite before. Mm-hmm. I want to know why you changed your mind.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to make sure she's serious about it. But that's where ABC should have done their job. But
the other thing that I found weird was they keep bringing up Donald Trump and the very fine people on both sides.
Yes.
I mean, it's clear as day what he meant.
Yeah, I thought that was debunked.
It was debunked
a long time ago.
A very long time.
But that's
ago.
why I'm saying, like, the little sneaky stuff like that. She didn't directly say that he was talking about the neo-Nazis whenever he made that comment, but she kind of inferred it, or left people to infer it.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she's got to do what she's got to do, though, man.
I know, but it's not. It's deceptive.
All politics is deceptive, man.
In a sense, yeah. But I mean, and that's why I'm saying. So I feel like there's more transparency with what the fuck you're getting with Trump. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you do.
Why do you not think that?
Because that dude changes his mind on so much stuff, man.
Give me an example.
Like, what was it?
And I'm not saying he doesn't, but I just want to know an example that comes to your head.
I'm trying to think. You got me on the spot.
I just
know.
If you're gonna make a claim, Tom, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire.
I understand. I'm trying to think. Didn't he support legalizing marijuana, and then he comes back and says no, never mind?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he did. That's the one thing I can think of.
Should we look it up?
Yeah. Did Donald Trump support legalizing marijuana?
So I'm curious. So you think his position currently is that it shouldn't be legal?
Well, I mean, I mean, look at all the Republicans in the state of Ohio that are trying to change the bill, man.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Trump's support of here. We'll just I don't have all my stuff. Not all my stuff is the way it's supposed to be. All right. So here, this first article right here. I don't know if I can zoom in. If I can, I don't remember how. All right. Trump's support of Florida marijuana legalization may show.
Yes, right here. Okay, hold up.
Okay.
Trump indicated during his 2016 presidential campaign that he favored leaving the issue of legalization of marijuana to the states. His administration subsequently upheld the federal prohibition of cannabis, and Trump's 2021 fiscal budget proposal included removing protections for state medical marijuana laws.
Removing state protection. Okay.
So he did change his mind.
I don't see. Where did he change his mind, though?
Because it's his fiscal budget proposal. Removing protection for medical marijuana.
What kind of protection, though?
The I can't find it on the spot, man.
So, I mean, like, it would have to be financial. I mean, because it's in a fiscal proposal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I don't know what kind of support they provided. Like, what did I don't know what they supported. I didn't know medical marijuana was a thing legally, federally.
I think there's protections. Hold up.
I don't know. I think you should watch the debate, Tom. We'll have to pick back up.
I think I will watch the debate, but I mean, the one thing I want to
we haven't checked anything. I don't even think we've had more than one. Oh.
Hold up.
This will get no views, Tom. This will get no views. And let me tell you why. Because
Why?
we haven't had one view. Unless we get off here and it's just like, oh, blow up. Doubt it.
I'm so fucking over this goddamn phone. It just kicked me out. Well, and the other thing too, though, is when I sit back and I look at this, do we have sat on this channel and made fun of Joe Biden because he's old, he's losing his mind, he's this, that, and the other thing?
I don't think I've made fun of Joe Biden for being old.
Well, losing his mind and stuff. Being old is just kind of that encompassing thing I'm talking about. Like, not eloquating things correctly, misspeaking.
I've never made fun of him for it. You know what I do? I say that basically that people are blind, that they didn't see it to begin with, and nobody wanted to talk about it. Everybody wanted to sweep it under the rug and act like it wasn't a thing. But
we're kind of seeing it with Donald Trump. I mean, he'll start a thought and then he'll go over to something else.
Oh God, that's been Trump for years.
Yeah, I know. And we're turning a blind
thought.
eye to it because it's funny.
Not because it's funny, but because he at least can finish a complete sentence without like slurring his speech or completely forgetting what he's talking about.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. I mean, he's a character for sure. I mean, it's definitely someone I'm going to vote for just because I want my money to start working for me again and not going to nothing. But I mean, here's something I can ask you. Here's something I can ask you and ask you in good conscience. You said that you're very, you're for people that can uphold the Constitution. And people who represent our country well. That's kind of what I gained from you when you were talking about why you support Donald Trump. I support Donald Trump because I like the way that money looks when he's in office. What would a Democrat have to do to get your support?
Honestly, be real. Be real and be transparent.
Okay. Do you think it's possible to be 100% transparent?
No, I don't think you need to be 100% transparent. Just more transparent. And what I mean by that is I feel like a lot of agendas are hidden within. I just feel like the left is very sneaky. Like, and I'm not saying I'm saying left politicians, those who lean left, like actual politicians and lawyers. Just a lot of people. But I just feel like very sneaky, and I'm sure the right probably does the same thing. It's just part of.
It's just they're
it's part of the
sneakier.
game. You know what really made me kind of realize that a lot of this is really, it's a game, but it's a very serious game. Is when I probably told this story before. Is when I sat in as a bailiff on a court martial when I was in the Marine Corps, and
I remember the story.
yeah, and
It's a
just
good one.
watching, because I had never watched a court process play out, or like a trial play out, and just watching the lawyers even argue to bring in specific evidence, and why not it should be accepted, and the way they use the same language of the law but look at it different ways, interpret it differently, and then articulate that to a judge or a jury to persuade them to view that their language more favorably. It's a game, but it's a very dangerous game. And I think there are a lot of people who play the game the wrong way. Like, I think the game cannot be a game. I think it can be used. I think it could be a tool, a great tool. But I think maybe that's the better word for it. It's a tool, but some people use the tool. Like a crowbar is great for prying things open, but it's also great for breaking windows. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I get what you're saying. I like that analogy.
So, yeah, some people use that crowbar for what it's intended for, and some people use it to break windows.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a great analogy. I like that one. It's almost as good as the garlic bread analogy from years past. But that's a story for a different lifetime. Let me ask you this question, actually. When you were watching the debate last night, did you feel that they gave Trump harder questions than they gave Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
I already told you, because they would ask him thought-provoking questions. Here, let me see if I could just go back and let me pull up that specific part of the debate, because I kind of remember where it was at. I know you got to get out of here soon.
Oh, I'm not worried
you got
about
a few more minutes. All right, let me see. Is this one? I think this is it. All right, let me fast forward through here. No thanks, bro. Oh, come on.
What the fuck is that?
Ads. I'm not logged into my stuff.
She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals.
Proud Boys, a militia. Spread birther lies about, and I am certainly.
That I would absolutely. That kept.
I feel like it was when they first came back from the first break, so it would have been right. Right around here.
Unfair. We didn't know it was going to be this unfair. We're back.
Welcome back tonight. The time has come for closing statements, and Vice President Harris.
Oh no, this is. Hold on, this closing statements.
2.5 years into this conflict. Mr. President, it has been the position of the Biden administration that we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries.
Let me see.
You have said you would solve this war in 24
Robert
hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are.
It's their continent.
They're in for $150
That's not me.
billion
That's a live
less
stream.
because Biden and you
Reaction.
don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's
I don't think
happening.
that shit's
We're in
necessary.
for 250 to 275 billion.
I agree
They're
with you.
into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know
Man,
Zelensky
you just
very
have to
well, and I know
process.
Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is
They want
war
it to go
that's
on.
dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's. Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
They
here,
threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
your time is up. Just to clarify in the question,
Fact check. Here we go.
do you believe it's in the U.S.
Oh, no.
best interest for Ukraine to win this war? Yes.
See how they hold his feet to the fire? But I'm going to show you something here in a second.
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this device
Okay, so you heard that. Now let me show you
tonight.
the very first question that they asked Kamala. Tell me when you hear an answer.
On
Tom.
top of that, we have, and create absolutely
It should be
of
Hold on.
people want,
catastrophe.
and that is to stem the flow.
Actually, that's right there.
questions, and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2
All right.
minutes for only enough to the stage. Voters repeatedly.
All right, so here's a question.
So
Tell me
let's
when
get
you hear an
started.
answer.
I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
Pretty fucking simple question, right?
So I was raised as a middle class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
What?
Did you hear an answer in there?
Yeah.
What was the answer?
That she loves she was born middle class and she loves small businesses and she has plan and action to make life easier for them.
Do you remember what the question was?
Is life easier than it was 4 years ago?
She
says no.
She did?
By answering that way, you say no.
That was your takeaway?
Yeah.
So you took her answer as a no. It's not better than it was 4 years ago. So that means Trump was providing a better life for people 4 years ago.
Well, I mean, 4 years ago we had a decent economy, and then COVID hit and everything went to shit.
But wouldn't her answer want to be yes? Because that means over the last 4 years things have gotten better.
No, hold up. Because damned if she does and damned if she doesn't.
How so?
Because if
the answer was what was the question? Is life
easier?
Is life better than it was 4 years ago?
If she would have said no,
she should have said yes. Why would you not say yes on that?
Or she said yes, then people would sit here and say that she's a liar. So
they're going to critique her.
Either way, she's
so the correct answer is to not answer.
Yes.
So now you're saying that she didn't answer. But you just told me that she did answer.
No, I'm saying the better thing to do would be not to have answered.
She didn't answer.
I feel she did.
Well, then why did she say no? Shouldn't she say yes?
She answered honestly, no.
That means why the fuck would anybody vote for her if she's already in office and life isn't better for people now than it was 4 years ago?
Let me ask you something.
Please.
When Barack Obama was in office and Joe Biden was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we blame Joe Biden for the bullshit that Barack Obama did?
He's partially responsible,
He's partially responsible, but he's not the dude.
Oh, okay. So she was the dude or the chick in charge of the border, but the border's ass. So should we blame her for the border, or should we blame Joe Biden because ultimately he's the president?
Well, at that point, then yes, you actually should blame Joe Biden. Because
okay, but if
Biden
she's the one
balls,
delegated to that,
yeah, then
okay.
you have employees, or when you had employees, right? If
ultimately it falls on me.
Yes, but at the end of the day, you had every ability to go in there and be like, "Hey, dude, like you're doing dog shit." You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't step it up, you're either gonna get fired, or I'm gonna fucking step in and do it my way, right? But Joe didn't do that.
Okay, so she's saying that her and Joe did a shit job over the last 4 years.
I think that is what she's saying.
Then I don't understand why that would benefit her at all.
I don't either, but at least she's being honest.
I don't even think she was being honest. I don't even think she answered the question.
I do.
I think if she gave an answer, if you can see that as an answer, then that's a shitty answer. But
hold on a second. Is it because she didn't say yes or no?
Is it because what? Because she didn't say yes or no?
Do you think she didn't answer because she didn't say yes or no?
She didn't talk about the past 4 years at all. There was nothing in anything she said that had anything to do with the past 4 years. She talked about her plans to cut
But I
taxes
feel like she
and
did.
tax and deductions. No, she didn't. She talked about the future. She talked about her plans for the future.
But she specifically highlighted the middle class, which has been neglected these past 4 years. And shit on these last 4 years. She pointed them out.
So she's saying that her and Joe Biden shit on the middle class for the last 4 years.
I guess that is what she's saying. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hope there's another debate because I'd actually like to.
I hope there is
watch it.
too, honestly.
I'd actually like to watch it.
Yeah. I think things would go a little bit differently.
I think they would. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a very interesting debate. I think if anybody's watching this, if you watch this at all, thank you. First of all, thank you, because this was not planned, and I'm sure you guys didn't have this on your calendars. I know if we let you know next time, you'll friggin' be there, right?
I think so.
You fucking better be. Anyhow, yeah, bro. I know you got to get out of here, so we won't take up too much more time. But if you did watch the debate, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. I don't know. I obviously see things one way. I would love to get another perspective. Maybe we could, if you have a different perspective and you'd like to come onto the show, hit us up too, or a same perspective. I don't care. Just somebody get on here with us. Somebody get on here with us. Give us something to do. We get bored. It's just us sometimes. We're like, what are we gonna do today? All right, Tom.
Anth.
Happy Wednesday, sir.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy. So yeah, we didn't do this. Friggin'
Happy September 11th.
Happy September 11th. Yes.
Well, that's not the right thing to say.
That's not the right thing to say.
No.
But wait a minute. You say Happy Memorial Day.
I do.
And isn't this somewhat of a Memorial Day?
Yeah. You know what I'd say? Have a good Remembrance Day.
Is that what today's called? Remembrance
I'm calling
Day.
it Remembrance Day.
Have a good 9/11.
Have a good 9/11. This isn't the roast of Tom Roth or Anthony Oquendo. This is the coming together of Tom Roth and Anthony Oquendo to remember September 11th right now. We're not roasting each other. We're remembering.
Why
together.
did we roast each other?
Huh?
Did we roast each other?
I feel that we had a little bit more of a back and forth today than we've ever
No,
had.
you just felt like you held your feet to the fire a little bit today, Tom. You weren't prepared. You weren't
That
prepared.
was okay. I
You
know I
weren't
wasn't, and I'll admit that all day. Like I wasn't prepared. Fuck.
I think you were just you weren't prepared. I think you should have watched the debate.
I think I should have too.
Yeah,
But
I tried to get you to just watch it and we'll do it another day, but you got barbecues or some shit to do.
Yeah, dog, I got barbecues to do. Football's back. I lost my
Oh,
Football's
then we
back.
are not doing shit on Saturdays.
Hold up. First of all, football
You wanna
doesn't come
do
on until
something-
1 o'clock.
Okay, nobody's gonna watch our stuff on Sundays.
That's huge.
Nobody's watching this on Sundays.
We'll figure
Everybody's
it out.
pre-gaming, bro. They're at tailgate parties and shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
I probably will be too.
All right. See, I don't
But
know.
I mean, we'll figure it out. It's gonna rock and roll. But
thank you guys so much. Tom, close us out.
Thank you
'cause I
for watching
opened
this
us up.
episode of The Cut. I'm Tom Roth, and that is
Anthony Oquendo.
And you have all made